Imagine a country that's over 95% desert. Now, imagine that same country deciding to turn that desert green. It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but in Egypt, it's becoming a reality. This is the story of one of the most ambitious agricultural projects in modern history. Egypt's plan to flood the desert and reclaim it for farming. But is this a stroke of genius or a potential environmental catastrophe? Let's find out. For thousands of years, life in Egypt has clung to a narrow, fertile strip of land along the Nile River. This legendary river, the longest in the world, has been the lifeblood of Egyptian civilization. Its annual floods, depositing rich silt that made agriculture possible. But with a population soaring past 110 million and still growing, that narrow green ribbon is no longer enough. The demand for food, housing, and jobs is pushing the nation to its limits. The solution Egypt believes lies just beyond the river's edge, in the vast, empty expanse of the sun. The plan is audacious in its scale. We're talking about projects like the New Delta, a colossal undertaking aimed at reclaiming over 2 million acres of desert land west of the old Nile Delta. The goal is to create a parallel agricultural heartland, a new breadbasket for a hungry nation. But how do you make a desert bloom? The answer, of course, is water, and lots of Italiano. The cornerstone of this grand vision is the Alamam wastewater treatment plant. This isn't just any treatment plant. It's one of the largest in the world. Every single day, it is designed to treat and pump billions of gallons of agricultural drainage. Water that was once too saline and polluted to be used and give it a new life. This treated water is then transported through a massive, man-made river, a network of concrete-lined canals and giant pipelines stretching over 170 kilometers into the heart of the desert. When you see it from above, it's breathtaking. What was once a monotonous sea of golden sand is now being gridded out into perfect green circles and rectangles. These are the new farms, brought to life by center pivot irrigation systems. These giant, wheeled sprinklers rotate around a central point, drawing water from the canals and distributing it precisely over the crops. This method is far more efficient than the traditional flood irrigation used for centuries along the Nile, minimizing water loss to evaporation in the harsh desert climate. The project isn't just about water. It's about creating entire new communities from scratch. Roads are being paved, power lines are being erected, and new towns are planned to house the millions of farmers, engineers, and workers needed to sustain this new agricultural frontier. The government hopes this will not only boost food security, reducing reliance on expensive imports, but also ease the immense population pressure on crowded cities like Cairo and Alexandria. The vision is a modern, technologically advanced agricultural sector that can drive economic growth for decades to come. But here's where the questions begin to pile up. This entire grand design hinges on one critical resource: the Nile River. Even with advanced recycling at the Alamam plant, the system still relies heavily on Nile water as its primary source, and the Nile is already under incredible strain. Egypt is technically already below the United Nations threshold for water scarcity. So, where is all this extra water coming from? This brings us to the complex and often tense politics of the Nile. The river flows through 11 countries, and every nation wants its share. Upstream, Ethiopia's recently completed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD, a megaproject that has become a major point of contention with downstream Egypt and Sudan. Egypt fears that the dam, and the filling of its massive reservoir, could significantly reduce the flow of water reaching its borders, threatening its very survival, while Ethiopia insists the dam is crucial for its own development and electricity needs. The lack of a legally binding agreement on its operation remains a source of deep anxiety for Egypt. Can a project that demands more water succeed when the supply is already so precarious? Beyond the geopolitics, there are serious environmental concerns. Transforming a desert ecosystem on this scale is a monumental intervention in nature. Deserts aren't just barren wastelands. They are complex, delicate ecosystems with their own unique flora and fauna. Flooding them with water and introducing intensive agriculture can have unpredictable consequences. One major risk is soil salinization. When irrigation water evaporates, it leaves behind salts. Over time, these salts can build up in the soil, making it toxic to plants and rendering the land infertile, very problem they're trying to solve. Modern irrigation and drainage are designed to manage this, but can they hold back the salt forever in one of the hottest places on Earth? Furthermore, the energy required to pump and treat this biblical amount of water is immense. The Al Hammam plant and the associated pumping stations are massive consumers of electricity. While Egypt is investing in renewable energy, much of its power grid still relies on fossil fuels. This means a project designed to create a green landscape could, paradoxically, be contributing to a larger carbon footprint. It's a classic developmental dilemma. Progress at what environmental cost? Despite these formidable challenges, the project is pushing forward with incredible speed. The government sees it as a matter of national security. Food independence is paramount. They are planting strategic crops like wheat, corn, and sugar beets to reduce the country's billion-dollar import bill. The promise of jobs and a better future for millions is a powerful motivator, driving this pharaonic effort against the odds. Could this be a model for the world? Many countries, from the Middle East to Africa and Central Asia, are facing similar crises of water scarcity and desertification. If Egypt can successfully and sustainably make the desert bloom, its methods could offer a blueprint for others. The use of large-scale water treatment and recycling, combined with high-efficiency irrigation, is at the forefront of agricultural technology. The world is watching to see if this gamble pays off, but success will depend on a delicate balancing act. It requires careful water management, diplomatic cooperation with Nile Basin countries, and a vigilant eye on the long-term environmental impacts. If the salt builds up, if the Nile's flow diminishes, or if the energy costs become unsustainable, this green dream could wither back into a sandy mirage. So, what we are witnessing is more than just an engineering project. It's a high-stakes test of humanity's ability to reshape the planet to meet its needs. It's a story of hope, ambition, and risk, unfolding in real time in the Egyptian desert. Can they turn sand into sustenance? Can they build a new delta that thrives for generations? Or are they creating a fleeting green oasis that the desert will inevitably reclaim? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The world is watching Egypt's bold attempt to write a new chapter in its ancient history, one irrigated field at a time. What do you think? Is this project an inspiring feat of innovation or a risky bet against nature? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into Egypt's new frontier fascinating, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration. See you next time.